Mindset, blessed love, manners, and respect. Want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, and also Empress Menen I, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. One more day above ground, brothers and sisters, as the item know, life is our ultimate position. Nothing no greater than that, no matter what go on top of everything that is already going on. Would I love the item for please push the like button and subscribe to the platform if the item haven't done so yet. Alright, because we have a very interesting reasoning lineup for the item today. We're reasoning with an honorable priest from the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. He's a foundation priest, a leading priest, I would say. But when him forward, him will clear up all of these things still. But I want to take the time out now to introduce Honorable Priest Brown to the Mindset program. Blessed love, Honorable Priest.
Honor and Majesty, my Lord.
Glorify. Great to have the eye on the platform here, my Lord.
Oh, give thanks for such blessedness for welcoming on such international link, my Lord.
Majesty. And could I formally introduce the myself?
My name, birth name is conceived and grew in Blackwoods here, born in Clarendon, Jamaica.
Rastafari. Yeah, the signal a little bit breaking up still. But yes, Honorable Priest. So all right, talk to me about growing up in your community, my Lord, in Jamaica. What was that like for the as a young man growing up?
Very interesting,
See?
Learning to read at home and being part of a very active family within community development and works within the community. It was a very interesting and very, it was a well-founded start, my Lord.
Rastafari, yes I. Well-founded start. Okay, so what was like, like the regular type, as youth, cause you say Clarendon there I grew up, right?
Well, though in a rural community, my family background was somewhat, middle class. My father serving at the military and the police force. My stepmother, a social worker. So many of the regular activities of the other youth of the community, me had to look at. I was at, grown up within a hoop, not allowed to roam and run go rivers, feel like, and like the regular duties, carrying, looking after animals, your fowl, your goat, your cow, and them thing there. Me da only see my brethren them are, my neighbors them involved, but them things there, being one who was more groomed than them that say prepare for the educated world. I was not involved in much of them things there.
Seeing. Rastafari. Okay. So what about church life? Because we know most of I and I still grew up in Jamaica. You know, we kind of go through that phase there, you know, Sunday school and all of them type of something there.
That's how my war begin. Coming from a family which is basically Seventh-day Adventist, and even experiencing that early part of my life, being born in Joe Brown, which is Bella's Gate, and going to Seventh-day Adventist Church, I had an early experience with my grandparents. Till about, when I get about 2 to 3 year old, then I was brought forward to here, where Blackwoods, where I was conceived to grow up with my father, who is a Catholic, and his wife also, my stepmother. No, doing the to pay certain reverence to the family, they at start, they never involved me in the Catholic faith. But something happened that someone start carrying news to them, say that the ones them down at the Seventh-day Church, you know, if we're in a discussion, say them about down to idol. So me lose my freedom this again, because I had to say I could go to church and Sabbath if I wanted, but no, I had to go to the Catholic Church to know, and then when we reach 12 or more, we can make my decision.
Saying, if you want to be a Catholic or a Seventh-day Adventist.
That's right.
Rastafari. Saying. So, yeah.
To me now, all of this was my grooming. Nature grooming me and prepared me for, you know, who I am right now, you know.
Saying. So, yeah, them thing they kind of shape the eye into and mold the eye into which part the eye there now. Alright, Honorable Priest. Talk to me about, you know, what was the eye impression about, you know, the early days, you know, Rasta in Jamaica, where the eye used to see as a youth, you know, growing up, and, you know, what type of Rasta them was. You know, was them Bobo Shanti, 12 tribe, you know, what was their impression?
Well, that again is a blessed experience for me, because my community here was like somewhat of an haven for Rastafari brethren running from persecution from the system. So we had first, I would speak of the ancient Bonga nation, as everyone would say, he was the Bible man, you know. And then you have, and then you have the man, I remember him exactly, who lived on a river. We had the total ital man, where everything in my door full of paper, you know. So we had Bishop Black up there, so which was like the intellectual, you know. So I see, you know, me coming up, I saw even within my own community, we saw various approaches within members of the faith towards them trod.
See, my lord. And was in them days there as a youth, you did a see Bobo, you know, what was the type of Rasta man them there you did a see?
No, I can't say the only Bobo man. I used to say a Bobo. May I check up that part there in a different levels, but it's not a physical manifestation.
Seeing, all right.
Yeah, my first connection to Bobo is when I went to spend time with some relatives in Rockfort, Renaclanch to be exact. and saw the broom and going through. And when me inquire of there, I got the negative imprint was given me that the Bobo Shanti people was the refuge for all of the ones them were still carry, what I say, move like three finger jack, or that are still a carry on the rebellion in a some way against the system. So,
See,
cause me tell you, yeah, cause like Counters, they was up there, so, and I went up there with other cousins of mine and thing, and them wouldn't mind up, going up there, but there was this stigma. Them never say King Emmanuel gather people where out of the way and change them, Them never give it the impression they will me come learn now. The
see,
rebirth and the redemption of souls. Them give me an impression like this was the sanctuary for the rebellion.
Rastafari. So,
So that was the first negative imprint I got of Bobo Shanti. So, you know,
all right, all right.
that's why me even started out searching for being led through prophecy then. Cause even at school, we as youth say Rasta and search prophecy. Our book of prophecy say among the elders, our come one who can teach and I the ancient ways. So I tried amongst Rastafari elders and even being at them time we have enough elders, is to find the one who for bring restore that anciency,
Mm,
you know?
yes, I.
Yeah.
Yes, I. So, all right. I grew up in a community where it appeared that the culture is there where Rastafari is concerned. But what would the I say that would you know interest the I, that the I would have taken on the trod of Rastafari.
The church conflict Rasta.
Church conflict.
When me find out, no, yeah, when me find out, when me feel no treated by a member of the Seventh-day congregation who come tell my after me don't settle the reasoning between me and my little friend them over this I worship a image and thing. And we take that as a joy amongst ourselves. Somebody a care that come on me yard now and interfere So it made me get in depth.
Yes, I.
So even going through as even somewhat rebellious in myself too. You see?
Mm.
Yeah. Even going to the Catholic Church, like I tell you plain, because I always say confession is good for the soul. Like me really attest them if them have no power, because all right, something weird happened to me as a child then, see?
Yes, I.
And it made me also rebellious and very challenging in our things. Them people call it third eye, wherein I could discern astral beings around me as a child.
Mm.
So people always say, "Don't you go kill me?" 'Cause me always I see them and.
Yes, I.
So after a particular incident, the fear took hold upon my even the household that were here, and they brought me to this. See, they brought me on that Sunday when they went to church. Them explained whatever it was to the priest. I mean, I don't know whatever I'm do and rub up on my forehead, and it somewhat break that discernment. They see,
Mm-hmm.
and then with them learning to read early and not being going out for play and run see the and I see and early I say that the church there's really a battle between God and Satan. Even going through, even caught up in the church, and them thing them to give me a more drive to say, me have to break that spell. Because me know say the church responds to the slavery and oppression and the whole thing. And then learning from the 7th-day part about the persecution of the church, the changing of the Sabbath, which by Caesar, where we learn them things at a very early age, you know. So, as you say, you have to make that tick.
Yes, I.
Yeah. So what brings me to Rastafari fully now is when one morning I'm on vision, like I'm on go, because they give me all that duty as a leading acolyte. I may carry the cross to lead the congregation to worship.
This is not the church.
And one, yeah, St. Robert Bellarmine in Chapelton.
My Lord.
See, so one, a bit in my contemplation in my mind now, and even with the revelation, of the right hand of Marcus Messiah Garvey, with them 3 mighty words: self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-reliance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that even trigger the empowerment or for question the whole thing, you know. So, my visions, we are the church, we are the newest church. I will say Senegal, no disrespect, the church building is right now. It wasn't there. It was in another building. And when I was in that vision, I saw the building before it was put up. But when we went up the step, the building wasn't above the ground. We went down to another set of steps under the ground. And going at the door, everybody dip them under the holy water, sign of the cross and do them have to do. But when we go in and look up upon the altar, there was another throne upon the altar than the regular altar settings. And the man who I saw sitting upon the throne was Caesar. You see, just as them depict him in the book. I don't know if when I read in the book come up.
You know, they are heavens.
And every step we go up to him. I saw the Swiss guards who with them long spear, who no have an axe, have a spear. And it was this, so like my conviction start. Cause right at the door, I say, myself, I say, Mama, I love you about, I see the devil no not really I worship me, no, don't know. I just run up back the step. And the giant in my vision, as I always have the power to fly away from evil and fly away over dance. And from that, I start say, pursue the Rastafari faith.
Majesty.
Because the only man that may say, I do what Christ require of us. Because the Christ, what them teach me the passion of Christ and what the duties of Christ and the ministry of Christ, I never saw that amongst the Christian practicing. I see the Rasta man, I live more Christ than them. So after that vision there, Rastafari tried.
Rastafari. And that is just to show it up that there is no biasness about what they are saying against any organization or denomination. You know, because it's where the eye see in the eye vision.
And it coincides with history and prophecies. So if you go in at the history book, you will find the same thing with my vision, I will come unfolding on my vision. So it is written there.
My Lord.
It's not just my illusion.
My Lord. All right. Interesting, you know, because the I speak about in your vision the eye fly away always from, anything we are trying to catch the eye. More on the eye talk to me about Alexandra Bedwood and Augustown, because Alexandra Bedwood is a man that people say him say him could have fly, Zane, and also is a man where did not teach a similar type of Black Christ teaching before Bongo Eddie surface.
To begin with, my lord, I'm somewhat not in depth with everything about the works of Bedwood, but what I know this much is that how close I come to it. There's a brethren that is referred to as Bongo Natty, Nathaniel Brown from Augustown, which is this is a leading preacher beside Bedwood, which is my uncle.
My lord. See.
From early days, as I tell you, enough different type of Rastaman me see in my community. In early days, I see Rastaman where they would have said involve or dabble in the mystics. 6 and 7 books of Moses, Thomas De La Rue writing, Guru out of India. Man who would have said did become adept to the mystical world. So that is how I would say the Right Honorable Father Bedwood as one of them early pioneers who was knowing that we as Africans could connect to the astral world by certain principles and practices, and even certain with the positive mind frame, man could ascend the natural human self and connect to the astral being, astral self.
Seeing and
so I see the Right Honorable Bedwood as a early pioneer within that,
Yes, I.
Yes,
I. So when the I say mystic, a matter of fact, what the I view pan like you would call it now spiritual Kabbalah, so-called black magic and all of them something there. Or the I as a Rastaman say that, because you just talk about, they used to say, some of the earlier Rastas, are touching to certain information.
my lord. Blackwood is part of the Dawkins property, part of the Moko Mountains, which is one of the refuge of the famous Queen Nanny of the Maroons.
Majesty.
If you know it, you know the history of Nanny, known as a mystic woman.
Yes, I.
And if you history, it was even here that Africans created the greatest defeat when they defeated the British Army. So, when I say that to you, to show mystic, the word spirituality has always been interwoven in our African framework.
True. Why is it? Why? All right. Why is it taboo? Why is it there's a taboo around that subject? Nah, I hear you properly.
About you know, nothing talk about you know, Rasta.
Eh?
So and the trauma is still embedded. Like Willie Lynn said, in put a certain trauma in how we pass on from generation to generation embedded. And people still secretly do these things, you know, but when you check a stack, them for rivalry them one another for material positions, even presently. But them not got it for take on the oppressors or the real oppressive forces.
Yeah.
Real, my lord.
So people I use this type of spirituality in a negative way then, my lord.
Most natural, my lord.
And that is why the taboo is around the whole thing, because you never really hear people doing good with it. It's always something negative.
And as you touch that point, that thing surprised me so much, because I've seen a few of these books, and in the introduction to a few of them that I have seen, there's a warning. If you use what you learn in this book to do good, to you shall be added the crown of glory, eternal life, the rest of it. But if you use it for the evil, you even set a destruction for your generation to come. So it was what's surprising to me at all the while to say, why 3/4 most of these people were entering at these things choose to take the evil pathway and then see the warning. You read?
Stiff-necked.
My lord.
Yeah. Stiff-necked. Alright, Bobo Shanti. Yes, I could keep the fire blazing same way, because within Nyabinghi, seeing when we check the history of the root name, which part it come from, we know, it's an African queen, somewhere in a Rwanda, that part of the African continent. I and I as Rastafari now, we adopt that name, or we take on that name. But the name itself is connected to, the same type of thing that we are talking about, African spirituality. Nyabinghi was a woman who was deep into, our African spirituality, just like, Nanny of the Maroon, But we take on that name as Rastafari. Do you think that we fully understand taking on the name?
Ones have different interpretation. Guided by the teachings of King Emmanuel, this is an interpretation coming from what I learned from King Emmanuel. Woman is Mother Nature. Woman, the symbol of woman is the earth. Man, symbol of the heavens. So to activate the energies of earth, man would have even the forces of heaven would have to activate the energies in the earth to set straight or to set right the things in earth. So I have no qualm that anything concerning. See, as I explain it, whether it's psychologically or chemical or within chemistry or wherever, that it is within natural science, that that's why it's energy. It would have said I wouldn't it arose within the Empress, that energy, is would I say given the title of Nyabinghi. You see, because as I'm sure when the question of the Kabbalah came up in the royal throne room, that I never give enough words first, The first thing that I sent for was the drum, rhythm, and show it the answer. My lord, what your first instrument? And like no man couldn't even did answer. And then I said, my lord, man first instrument, now you took now the palm of your two hand. And when you put them together, clap, clap, 1, 2, and then I stamping foot. 3, 4, and then you get tap, tap, 3. That's the rhythm of life.
My lord.
So if you check within all of the other music forms, none of them capture that or is based upon that rhythm. They have their own purposes and them own energies where them generate. You see? But none of them is have that connection like the Nyabinghi to the cosmic.
Majesty.
And this is the reason why the Nyabinghi had to come forth, because of the corruption of the other methods before, the Nyabinghi had to rise to clean up and to make straight, as we would say, make the crooked straight and the dirty clean.
Yes, I.
So a mama energy, and so it activates. So I just said there fine, man, my lad.
Rastafari. Yes, I. Mama energy. Yeah. Yeah, but
So when I pump the bass, my lad, I'm more time up there, I pump the bass and I hear the echo and I listen to the sea. How the sea waves are crossed on the shore. More time it and the music line just it coexists and it just
synchronize.
Blend. Oh, give thanks to the word, my Lord. Yeah. My Lord.
Rastafari. Yes, I. Everything does align.
Natural, my Lord.
Yes, Bobo. Yeah, man. I was alluding to the more, I call it now, the spiritual side of Nyabinghi, Zane, wherein, because Nyabinghi the Empress, fear narrative and the history of her, is a spirit that rise up, because of what they did to her. You know what I mean? So
yes.
that same African spirituality now that was being used not as a weapon against Africans, but a weapon against invaders, troublemakers, people who are coming in and are try to take over and dictate. It was used against them, just similar like what I say. It was the same thing that was used to defeat the British in a Jamaica, the Maroons, and getting that treaty. So that is what man was alluding to, that spiritual side and Nyabinghi, seeing other than just, people just see it as just as a music, because that's how some people see it, just as a just as a music, but it's more than just, music, my lord.
It's not music for in the form of what you call words are to be Moses said the righteous, the one who is maintaining and living with full balance with Mother Nature. But it would, but it is the other thing. It is disturbing because remember, most other form of music is for personal gratification.
Mm-hmm.
The Nyabinghi order is for the praises of the Most High and the cry of the saints for righteousness upon earth. So it's two completely different vibration and theme, my lord. Yeah, I know something if you go jump up and jig up and show your motion, but something I go put you in a conflict with your own self. Because you have to go things that happen where you have to go question yourself. You know, see it? And hands up to yourself and find your true self. And come face to face with yourself.
Majesty.
So, yeah, so that are the different Nyabinghi, my lord.
What are the I thoughts and because the I as an honorable priest, Zane, you just talk about playing the bass. What the difference if there's any, Zane, than a Bobo Shanti service than a Bingi service then?
What settings are music wise?
Music wise, because obviously the setting is different.
All right. The rhythm settings now used by my brethren in the Nyabinghi house was the original rhythm settings that Rastafari brethren used in Bakawan. Upon setting up upon setting up the Congress, Dada took it one step further and introduced this 4-beat to the bar rhythm.
See it. Okay.
So this rhythm of the Bobo Shanti, which as me tell you, me come learn personally from the man in the company of the brethren, and even learning from elders. There is a bongo heady, the man who is the initiator. You know a better word for the man who bring the 4-beat to the Nyabinghi to the floor.
Okay.
And the marching and the marching order and the marching rhythm.
My lord. My lord.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Interestingly, after inner years coming up, I was instructed by Dada that to be able to communicate or even to break a certain levels of bond, and I should also as being Bingi, because we say we are we talk as the masters of the Nyabinghi order. He showed that appointed me that to how to master even hymns, because the chorus them easy. To master hymns upon that Bakawal rhythm. Because in the early days, going to Bingi, in a certain hours, when the man, the elders, them going at some silent Nyabinghi, when a pure harps that go through and the man them go through, I. It was like mystic realms. And, make it happen to me that in one of the heights at the Bingi, that the man them touch a card. I'm get for find out say is that the man them now use no word, I just high. Like if we like how with that Bobo with that say chorus humming.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I.
That was that was an integral part of the early Nyabinghi house, especially after midnight Nyabinghi. And I, as a youth in the Bingi house, find out say at him, the man them I chant in other farm there. So when that even after bringing irons and even pipe me forward there, so as some put back everything together, I know that I and I have a master uh, all of the vibrations and Nyabinghi come out of Bakawan. Both what the Bingi house use and what King Emmanuel has offered to us as would I say the new Kabbalistic or the new Melchizedek order.
Mm-hmm. Rastafari.
Some
Right.
who know tell the one for be no ignorant of none.
Mm.
Better you be rounded. Better you be rounded.
Yes, I. Yes, I. For real, for real, for real. Alright, we're not reaching at the camp yet still, Zane. But before they are
Yeah.
reaching at the camp and thing, cause me know probably the I must have venture into Kingston and in a them place there. Um was the I around Bob Marley at any given time?
No, my first connection with Bob Marley is when my football coach at Kleinberg College carry him come and still cool come down there come talk to you because at that time only one man from the squad never heal His Imperial Majesty, King Selassie I, as God and King.
Saying?
Yeah. So the coach saw it necessary to motivate us, so he brought in the Honorable Skill Cole and the Honorable Mr. Marley.
Rastafari. Saying?
Yeah. When me had that time I come close to him now was in the peace treaty.
And at the Peace Treaty.
'Cause yeah.
Which year that?
It was I remember when the political activists them in Jamaica decided to them not carry on no more political work here. The same year when Bob McSiaga and Manley shaken in a stadium.
Saying? And what was them time they like for the I do as a young rasa a come in come up?
Alright. For me personally, it was a challenge because the system and this grievous, as we speak it now, lie with them spread in Ethiopia. I man personally decide say I now go continue with no professional career in the system. So we walk out of school and say we are take the hills field.
Saying?
Because a certain family background and thing, we end up get called to by certain family connection and them to with some land on a land lease, you know.
Yes, I.
But after a time them come forward now away and say and I should I too young for our government property, and furthermore, we have certain privileges in the educational system.
See?
So them take me off, yeah. So we were forced to were forcibly taken home. So within a week now, with the rebelliousness take over and I know myself, me can't trod Rasta. Me have go align myself with these ghetto, with the gangster them, with the rebellious crew.
See?
Yeah. Reaching a town, check July and them on their church street. And and the council of Bingi elders and the gathering at the time. A series of Bingi did I go through. And right, I say mysterious are a blessing for me, right? The thing there, a Bingi shake. And then the peace treaty came forward, where two leaders are the two major rivals downtown.
Yeah.
Two Rastafari, one is the Orthodox and one cling to Bingi. But two Rastafari and the Bingi bring them together and say them all put away them political activism and turn over them energy in defense of Rasta. Now me see no elder get nervous when that go on. Like so I say, they can't afford another choral gardens or something like that again.
Rasta.
One of the elders who grew me up, he was say the grounds man, based on the grounds there. So we stayed in our residence during the meetings that was taking place. And is there now me this is where before they had moved me off of the land list. I had seen a book named Dread, which was the first positive reformation I got of Prince Emmanuel at that time. Because after running through the book Dread, the declaration of Emmanuel in that book was most profounding to me. So it was attracting my attention. So doing this peace treaty thing now, when every time you see certain amount of elders gather up a and yet there's no sign of Prince Emmanuel. And every time it's only a letter come from Bulby, you know,
See?
say, some may say, wait, Wagwan. So when I tell when I see certain amount of man move and go there and come back with only a letter again, that totally spurred my attention. You see, me had to find this man. You see, though previously, God bless him, the other planner, he was doing his best to fight me to get involved, to take up a course within the UA and a fame, connection.
See?
But me in my rebellious state, now look forget attached with nothing in the system. So him already did tell me say me fi go along a bongo heady because nobody can control me. So me fi just go along a bongo heady. And when me see say no man couldn't move that half I'm shown. And I have to come back with letters, powerful letters. So,
See? So what? Man did want Prince Emmanuel to come what, Hope Road?
natural.
See?
So I just without even seeing the man, it was proven to me that this man is the general.
So, but all right, what was, because there's a whole narrative, that circulate around the place more while, about Bob Marley, perspective and Prince Emmanuel, you know, like Bob of some type of riff with Prince Emmanuel because he was a superstar or something like that. I don't know, but what the I take?
Far from that, my lord. Far from that, my lord. So you say, being who even exposed to whatever that's a limited amount in a psychology, dealing with enough affairs in our life.
Yeah.
Even the little time, say 2 or 3 weeks when we spend up our workload there. Me know say what made Bob do the things, some of the things he do. In those days, the reality of it is that, my lord, in those days, because of the, what I say, some nowadays we call it dogma, some would I say ancient principles of the faith. Man, where no have Bori Congo. Rasta accept you, but he not see you as African. You understand?
Yes, I.
Those early stigmas. Because, all right, we say ones were depend, you must say, you feed a man, and at the same time, him a cuss you, and I tell you, say, you're a red skin boy, and rare, you can't go there. And these were things where Bob did have to live with when him even share him love our minister, where little we have amongst being the virgin.
My Lord.
That's why it moved on to 12 tribe and the Orthodox, because even within the Bobo house, some of that same racial stigma did still linger.
Mm.
So as one we entertain that situation sometimes make you who you are. Some of us, through the grace of the Most High, might overcome situations. And that's a curve with destiny. But situation have a lot of things to how you approach and how you react to situations.
True, true, true. True, true. Yeah, I can imagine, my lord, in them days there, cause I hear priests, you know, say, them face them type of behaviors there still, from ones and ones. You know what I mean? So I can just imagine, Bob Marley being an entertainer and being, a mixed race, mixed heritage, brethren, where Bobo is concerned, him probably a go, face them type of, vibe there still. From some, at least.
As I tell you, we cannot be, I cannot be hypocritical. As you say, we have to be realistic. The two leading houses then within our foundation houses, it took a time for the racial barriers to break down or to be fully understood then. Because remember, even His Majesty, as our King, God and Creator, when one see him physically, they were ones who started going different ways and coming up with for them thing, because another color, them all look like better if is a man like that is a man like Marcus Garvey features, them would have more look for.
Yeah. A dark Shaka Zulu type of man.
Yeah. From that's why in other realms there, you see, because it's an African thing. Yeah.
But is
So once I wonder, I guess where I come from, my lad.
yes, I. True. A long way. A long way.
My
So
lad.
what the eye perspective then, and and the music itself, reggae music, cause within Bobo Shanti that stigma is there where, reggae get a whole heap of bun.
My lad, I pray thee. From the ancient Kemetic teachings of Egypt, it is written, anything you create, you have to can protect, otherwise others will steal it and take it from you and even use it against you.
My Lord.
That is the one in that I tried to give the young whalers. You see? Because that I know the influence and the power of the minstrel, the music. And so he told them that they had to know what they were taking up because they might see it as just one thing, but him who know the full power of music and how it applies to even world autonomy, kingdoms and nations,
Yes,
So that I was warning them to be more protective of their creation and more secure it and not let it fall into the hands of the Europeans that is as it now. He has when would I warn them about it happened to the music now. The energy is still here, but we create and a next set of people collect. And I saw them have the black man. We create things, but another set of we are not allowed to collect. Other people collect.
True, my Lord. Reality. Reality. Yeah, that's the reality. Alright. For break the cycle still. Yeah.
Certainly, my lord.
Yes, I. So talk to me about what attract the eye to Bobo Shanti now, because they talk about the book Dread where they read Zane.
Yeah. Well,
Apart.
as me sure there, I as answering the call for the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey to build institution and industry for the long-term security of our people. That's why we made our first start in agriculture, right?
Yes, I.
Coming, yeah. Coming to and learn the challenge of the system. And from even the prophecy that we had interpret the prophecy as young high school youth, we was always looking for the elder for fulfilling the prophecy to teach, to give us this, we were called the real meaning, the Kabbalistic order, the method for counteract mystery Babylon. Because we know say a Rome, everything we are run are just Rome and branches of Rome. So how are we gonna prevail against them and liberate ourselves? We have to find this teacher. So what happened up on Hope Road, like this totally tell me say that King Emmanuel is the teacher. So we had to go see the teacher. Yeah. So and entering the schoolroom, the man welcome me in, and usually stay over first base, the gate, the royal guard at the gatehouse, they bless him, and our priest give him even entertain me for stay on his gate over East Border. And I did some journey within the Bobo Shanti life again because was 3 months of initiation before fulfilling before you gain your turban.
My Lord.
Yeah. So that went quite well and got involved in learning all of the statical activities because as prophets at that time, the importance of the prophets, say the only responsibility the prophet have over the tabernacle for play music or for hold the banner. But otherwise, the board bush, stick bush, the whole governmental, water, the whole thing in the state. So we get fully involved in it, from some virgin I make slippers. We could hang the sewing machine, so sew up some uppers for a virgin and write the some learn to make my first standards. Get involved with my honorable virgin, the priest the first establishing on the continent right now. Run the mat production, got fully involved with the duties till for the person that was doing that duty, he had to go on to other duties. So I was called by Priest Jackie. So that said, my lord, you know a lot about you. We say you come here to learn the order, my lord. I say, yes, my lord. So Dada asked me, say, sir, you willing to left that gates there that nice gates there where me you build up over East Border and come rest for my veranda to learn the order. And I say almost natural, my lord, because myself, why you see me laugh, myself me laugh because I say gates after other gates become a bull myself, other gates become a bull about. So my journey starts around the kingdom, Yeah. Wood and water, brush up brush up the environments, morning and evening before, minister as in a palace style, no disrespect. If people who understand literature, we understand me. In the throne, that's what them call it. Scholar boy, wash the pot and clean and we begin at the bottom. Learning and then it's a great place to learn a lot of things. Fulfilling all the duties around the king.
Yes, I.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some my discipline begin in a Jerusalem schoolroom.
Mm. And what was what was it like being around Prince Emmanuel? What was that journey there for the eye? Being around a man who is seemed to some as this supernatural man because the title, the Black Christ, because the teaching of Christ that we get, in the Bible, Christ is a man where rise from the dead, and is a man where rise even people from the dead, give blind people sight, and all of these things. What was the Black Christ like being around?
Someone who is intellectually advanced. Yeah, because we are dealing with the world reality. I just said that someone who is totally intellectually advanced. I want to go take because I have no doubt or the freedom is about mysticism. That's why I put it upon the whole reality. Why I say that to you? Remember one time I go to school, I had about 15 subjects one time. Because I had to come more than one language. Even more than one language. And I man personally never have to ask King Emmanuel a question. And say, doing my duties them around him and ministering around the man, touching this and touching that, till it come up. The man go enter in every subject me do in a high school, my lad.
Oh yeah, sir.
So that's why I tell you, say someone who is the intellect, my lad. Remember, say even that separate that from the elders of Bakawal. You see? So whether mysticism or a higher education, wherever format, the man he had that advanced personality. You see him? Yeah.
So all right, let me ask you a weird question. See, now why I say weird is me don't know if no one's asked them question. Yeah. But which school? Cause we know we have Kingston, KC, and Calabar, and all of these different high school in a Jamaica. Which one that I used to go?
None of them, you know.
None of them.
None of them.
Yes, that. So there's no record of any, school.
No scholarly, as they say, like them that countries like us, like us, I say, you're from infant school, this school, and uh-uh. Not like that for King Emmanuel.
Seeing. And there's narrative that say boy him used to be a upper camp or him used to be in the army at some point.
Well, here we see lot the part that we be, when we just start trod, my father always say, where you go on, you're no Rasta yet. You see, when me find King Emmanuel, I've come visit him with my turban. My first thing the man do is draw to attention and give me a royal salute and say, what, boy, you graduate? So me say, Daddy, what you mean, boy? So you know me that search for all the while and you never tell me? And then just bust two pieces of explicit demons to me and say, you know, find where I look for. Where
See?
Yeah, cause he was up camp and know about Bongo Head in a camp.
Okay.
Yeah, because God bless him soul is a man where him even met me to be with me. Cause him in the armed forces at them time there and say how the political system in Jamaica came to be and formulated and the corruption. It made him a very bitter soul in that, when it come to around that state of mind, because my stepmother entertained both sides of the political party because of the family status, but him ain't nothing with none of them. Because for him alone, he would have said, them to chop up and throw in a fire.
Rastafari.
And that is a servant of the queen who get him honors from the queen, but when it's Jamaica turn out to be under the political system.
Terrible.
Yes, my lord.
Terrible. Yes, that. All right, Bobo. The broadcasting of Bobo Shanti, pana media perspective. Was the I involved in any of them work there?
Well, as a humble servant to the blow my horn, which when it comes to the instrument of the king, I was, let's say, very much involved in the implementing of that first breakthrough with the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, my lord.
Seeing, and what kind of role they did that play?
Some would say coordinator, because that I said me go up there, go for, I would say, find out what is causing the problem, or what is the block up there why I can't get invites over the radio. And when I go up there and see the situation, I find out say the studio man when at the office that play a rigma role with the elders. So that when I come back in and they ask me what go on, make sure that I say it's a diplomatic situation, it's a diplomacy game I play. So that I asked me if I can manage it, So I took up the challenge. At least I did love them something in a debating. Because when it comes to debating, me did love certain things.
My lord.
So that I sent me forward up there now, but this time I was the head of the delegation, you know.
Yes, I.
So me make him go and blabber him mouth. Till even one of the time, one of my elder them want get up and get at him, and me have to just touch my elder and I say, no man, make him go and talk, man, me okay chill. And him run him out till him make one slip. And me just turn back round him with him word pan him. And him took the two secretary in the office, laugh out and laugh him to scorn. Come I say, you think said Mr. Rasta man, I catch you today. Make you have to swallow your own word. You see him? So I just saw him have to just ease out of the way and I say, him not even should have go in at them things there, where him going at. Him should have deal with business. So him put him folly aside and open the door to business, you know?
But all
So
right, to be a little bit curious still, what was it that the Virgin did ask to prove? Was he asking to prove
him,
the divinity?
let me get on to that. After the script was provided and I was sent back to the JBC board of directors for approval, I was called to meet the board of directors. So at the meeting with the board of directors, they asked me if there was, because the basis of our approach was that there was Indian talent and parade enter the Dragon or the Chinese program. There was no African program being allowed on the broadcasting corporation. You see? So then it was a biblical thing talking about Christ. So they asked me if I could find any chapter in the Bible which could somewhat coincide or verify or bring something to say what is happening in Bulbi is reality.
Seeing.
Now, the Gardiname say, small axe fall big tree. Don't use none of the major prophet then, because you know so them divide the prophet them in a major and minor prophet.
My lord.
So that flip me to Micah chapter 4. In the last days the God of Zion shall come and shall set up his tabernacle upon a hill, and all nations of the earth shall go unto it. So come, let us go to the house of the God of Jacob to learn laws and commandments and statutes, which was a perfect description of what was going on Bobo Hill at the time.
Yes, I.
So nobody no look for me again. And I just saw them send me go down at the studio and God bless my soul, God bless him soul, and more life here, the fits right. I am going a thing and produce a studio tape and run off the thing from our little cassette to studio, you know. I must I think I read one of the first thing. We had this brilliant Priest Bailey and then Priest Turks, you know. But as you say, the man used a knife to pioneer it, you know. I opened the door, you know. Yeah.
Rastafari.
So that's why you see me have a little media phobia too, as Dada say, he want him Nyabinghi, he want him service in the network on the airwaves.
And what was his purpose behind that?
Media controls the mind. The media is food. The media activate the energy. The whole world is driven by people are driven by some form of medium. Now we have to put out a positive medium for somewhat stabilize all of the negative mediums that are traumatizing the human race.
My lord. Yes, I. Negative propagandas and misinformation and disinformation and all them. Yes, I. But
the workforces, the dancehall people, the whole world is driven by former media, some medium.
True. Yes, I. Yes, Bobo. All right, talk to me about Bongo Blackheart and the Judah Coptic Church, his connection with it.
The Bongo Blackheart first is one of the first set of Rastaman who chose to go deal with the political, to attack the political hierarchy, even to entrench certain rights of the people. In that it was the Judah Coptic that tabled the rights for sacramental rights for marijuana from the time of Michael Marley empowerment in the Jamaican government. However, no one would table it because that of the different stigmas around it. Until recently, we see it has been revived for the purpose which it is now serving, mostly entertainment, because up till now it's a sacramental right, but the sacramental people are yet to be accredited or officially recognized. The Judah Coptic Church are responsible for presenting a clear constitution. And before I go further then, even prophecy, I remember which book, even the prophecy it's written, and it even fulfilled naturally here in Jamaica. It was two churchical harder that arose out of our congregation. The Melchizedek Righteous Orthodox Church, King Emmanuel, St. Edwards, and the Judah Coptic Church. The Nyabinghi order is still a breakaway set of brethren who decide to put away Bible and hymn book and whole thing, and to choose to go with a different approach it from another different African perspective. You see him?
Yes, I.
But basically, a two church come out of Bakawan, So the Judah Coptic Church was had a deep involvement in writing concerning the Constitution and the rights of the people, which I witnessed Bongo Blackheart presented to King Emmanuel, I wouldn't say directly, but it was even after that presentation that stopped using the title national, international, and went straight international with I'm with us say, knowing that the Judah Coptic Constitution that is written was able or was good enough to govern the stately affairs concerning the rights of black people in Jamaica. Yeah, because the Judah Coptic Constitution was directly explicit, defending the rights of the African population here in Jamaica. So that I leave that seal, I deal with Africa. And little after that I say, we're going to take a window move. Because them time there, to say I take a plane for Africa is we call it Bobo original word for that, a window move. Because everybody are wait on the boat. So that is after that now that I say, say I was sending some ambassadors and sending some man to see what go on. So I saw the transition move through my land.
Rastafari.
Yeah.
Yes, I. So the first delegation to Africa, how the I say that now, knowing that Prince Emmanuel wanted to set up there in Africa, and it's like we still haven't accomplished fully, what he wanted to do.
That I give me this word, my lord. The priest Lord sometimes the things 10, 20 years before it happened, but the history and prophecy have to fulfill its course. That is my parable, then for start the clearance. You see, things have to fulfill up on earth because the reality of the kingdom of God is the whole human race coming to a state of full consciousness, my lord. But I say, or some people say, what left after all of the turmoil? You see?
Yes, I.
Right. So, that wasn't set, that is not a set, a thing where, for now, so this thing said, no one can claim no winnings, no one can claim no glory. All everyone have to do is give thanks to the Almighty that them receive the calling and find the way. Because in the kingdom and the manifest, there is no personal winnings for nobody because Christ, him already paid the price, bear the load and pay the price and set the captive free. The only thing we have, the only thing right now, once and once for do, is to build love and unity and protect this blessed Mother Earth where they put upon earth to trod for a season. But these things like captains of certain illusions where what I call biblical illusions, because believe you me straight up, my lord, as you might listen to hear me talk, as I say, a psychologist analyze things. And everything in the King James version story of Israel may gravitate to. You see?
Yes, I.
Some of the certain negative aspects which do not align with the natural laws of creation and the natural world of life. That's why I just said we have to become a new people.
Mm-hmm.
We can't take on none of them things that we read about and them elements of the past.
My Lord.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So me no carry over certain things my life. So me know say until His Majesty, until the word of His Majesty gives, until the color of a man's skin is no more significant than the color, until they are no longer first class and second class, until the basic human rights are guaranteed to all without regard to race. And that no means you have to go in and show the man who are living at the desert or used to where you would have called primitive or indigenous lifestyle. You have to give a right to come enforce your modernization upon him neither.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever him see in your modernization world where him wants to make himself more comfortable in a film indigenous world, it must be up to his or her free choice.
Most natural.
You see, so you're not going to impose yourself. You see? Yeah. So that is never that deal without just a religious imposition like we see as all of these conquerors and kingdoms. They bring forward a consciousness and awareness of life to all people that life is precious and life is to be protected and nurtured and cared for.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
True,
We have the principles are there to guide us and to bring us and to formulate us, to enrich us, these qualities within us. So the principles have been purpose. And you see? But it is not a rigid barbed wire thing that if you sleep, it will chop you up.
My lord, my lord, my lord, my lord, my lord. So, alright. Because I listen to I keenly, Majesty.
I can get it clearer. Then. Before the bridging, then, when the bridging, then, when that, at that time, sad to say, sometimes, but you know, at that time, in reality, I became somewhat not unpopular because of my ability to communicate verbally with King Emmanuel. Especially in Africa, because like I mean that Assembly United Nations office. Alright, after all of the bridging them rounds that after Empress Memem did drop our structure, I fully do them. I was in them operation, right, my lord.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do that, even I discuss with Ayman or share the approach to Africa before the first, it was first to go in and establish a theoretical grounds, and by our livity and our practices, it would withdraw the attention of others. And when we are fully economically empowered, then we wouldn't even have to tell no one about worship or church or Sabbath. Just the economic development we are going to bring.
Yes, I.
But when it falls in the hands of brethren and them start approach it, different things may come up. And all them things they push me aside. Because when we learn first from King Emmanuel as the Administrator General and as a man who know say is the formulator of institution and industry for our advancement. Mr. The man them about that took a religious approach, and to me that no in my heart and soul me I say, but that no different type of Christianity and a religion. I live it to the place you see it. And even at that time, I did even get a little book about some brethren named Ben Israel who did do the same thing and how effective or beneficial it was. So, that is even one of the reasons why the thing that take off, that how it take off, and we used to have to rectify it. No, because I assure you, say, when the man did that talk to me, in at that time when I alone did I deal with, because no, what I'm tell you, say, and I don't say that I never want other people to be involved, but the brethren them just not set themselves to deal with it. You see? I never made take up that for myself, you see? So the man made I look for that approach, as I say, like you said, that group that we talk about, the Ben Israelites, go in, set up economic development. You see?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the style then. Before you put man on earth, you put trees, you put food, what elder said, you put food on earth before you put man. So you have to make provisions before you can make development, to make certain development. So through them, never, the approach wasn't like that. That's why even I was left out of it. Because that's why I end up declaring them, because that I know say in heart, I want it happen, but I love what God. So then I said, my lord, I say in Africa, you know, St. Elizabeth, me come off of the boat and start my journey from St. Elizabeth till me reach Abakawal, I used to till Bull Bay. All of those people down there is mine. Go back down there and teach them everything I teach you.
My lord.
So try to and try our best we can. We have to leave it out till it can make it.
So what the eye perspective now pan back to Africa and knowing that, you know, Prince Emmanuel say Jamaica no and Africa yes.
You can, when you talk, listen to the words of King Emmanuel, you got to be broad-minded. Africa, yes, because Africa is the future of the whole world, not just the African years. The future security of the whole world is rest mainly then. I don't say China, Asia, some other place now have them role to play. But the main of it is Africa, as we see even in the present industrial world. Minerals and rest of it. You see, Jamaica, from a personal experience, is there that I call it the lizard story. You see, like thing about Jamaica where outside it seems like after the unity, the black man usually unite during the middle of the struggle against the plant, like the Maroon War and them things. But you see, since the whole Jamaican system changed up, the impetus to unite, to build, I'm not even going to say, to even plant a field, because when I come up as picnic, all the whole village work together. You know, see, to the field tomorrow for me. And I saw our people broke the bandage. I plant up fields in a unity. You see?
Yes,
somehow our people has lost that gravity, that Gong. So we do not unite no more, not even for plant the field. Furthermore, to go build industry and institution. So is that are forces? As I said, there are forces, both spiritual forces and even the political systems which are and within the Constitution of Jamaica, which that provide for the privileges for the African people here, which will ever blight any positive growth and development for black people here in Jamaica.
Majesty.
That is my explanation, my lord.
My lord. My lord.
Because when Dada, I'm going to tell you why I said this. When Dada start allow certain things to go move for make, things may say certain questions come up in my mind. And it took me a while for the answers come about. And when things personally happen to Iman personally, me see why Dada had to spread his wings outside of Jamaica. Because especially upon the economic front, the Congress wouldn't move a inch in Jamaica. You see?
Why did I say that?
Because I tell you, sir, because of the, as I tell you, the stigma of the lack of unity. As I tell you, so our people had this unity that they would have come together and plant fields. That was the first way, especially in Africa, Clarendon, you know. As enough man get money to go to Cuba, Panama, black people liberate themselves. Partner ground.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
Yes, I. Collective security.
Right. No. even when me, even that room in and a very, I say, again, high intellectual motivation. The impetus for brethren to work, for build, with the brethren, we never see the brethren ever come together to take it to a industry level. I say group and group, alright, I tell you, I say groups of man, even in a prophet years. Left and say, oh, them all go up, them all take up the state, them all just deal with groom industry, make money for the Congress and can support themselves. And them end up at them one another throat and nothing positive no develop out of it. And there are many other such cases here where Mr. say that set it and ones have tried, but because of people, some of us would even say iniquity and deceit and both spiritual, as I tell you, is both, and for me, is both spiritual wickedness and a psychological trauma that our people fail to unite to build industry to liberate themselves here, especially here in Jamaica.
And them say dance a yard before you dance abroad.
Then again to tell you that and then you know why it is like this. The political system of Jamaica, no black people in Jamaica for build no industry for themselves, my lad. So when them all get slaves and workers from.
True.
Why me tell you this? The first hockey factory, we had it in Clarendon. The first fruit house, we had it here in Upper Clarendon. And for quell the development of these rural areas at Clarendon, the hockey factory moved to me, I don't know where it reach here now. You see it. Although we have a couple of things, Tinners, Mussolina, Maypen, and area, the fruit house moved from rural to the capital. So we can tell you, moves where the system itself do have our people in this traumatized state that we are in right now, my lord.
Serious?
Yes. That's why we can't blame the people or point no finger upon them too tough, because there are systems and policies that drive them into these situations, my lord.
My lord. How do the I see reparation and compensation? Because I know that would probably, the condition what the ayah illustrate right now, that would alleviate a lot of these pressures and situations.
Well, I've been dealing with that from early youth. That is why, when I say, give more directly, that is one of the reasons why I became so active with my stepmother in social work when she was setting up the community center, or was agitating for a community center in our community, and took part into what they call the National Literacy Program that I helped to teach elders to read and write. So that we talk about reparations. Because, tell you now, this is a realistic youth. I'm going to talk straight. My father, as you know, I'm going to tell you, come out of the Augustown stock there, which is the last set of Africans then when them bring down in St. Thomas, branch out, come down there. So my mother stock is a mixed stock with the plantocracy, but the thing is, when I say mixed, the black grandmaster did lust after certain black mother, and produce my grandmother a certain generation. So even for them, but that's it, even for them, Malata stuff wasn't pure. It was still mixed in African. So me realizing and knowing and accepting myself along these grounds then. You see? That's what I tell you, me as an individual did put out work in rendering making better the situation.
Majesty. Yes,
Yeah.
I.
So if people and it is the only way people are going, all right. One time I did a camp and his daughter from Switzerland came here, and when she came down to my office, this was a word where she I probably never forget. She said, "Oh, where she is now, they are using solar to cook our food, and they are gone so much in a naturality. But the reason why she is here is because she know that until all of this come from us Africans, and until we are given equal opportunity to these things, she doesn't feel comfortable with all of that luxury. So it's conscience and people like them have to know, say, that's how the whole world have to approach it, for know, say, they have to rectify the situation, because repentance is, for born again, is not just one imaginary something, it's a work too, you have to rectify. Because the man say, be not as your fathers are stupid and a rebellious generation. You have to rectify the wrong that your generation did even do. To find peace and to bring back balance. So it's all in the work. Reparations, repatriation, all that is part of the work of the kingdom of God to bring forth righteousness upon earth.
Yes, I. Yeah, but it seems like it's something that never going to happen. Even though we see a lot of agitation still, of recent, you know, but in for the people to do the repair, it seems like it's something that is a hard thing to do, you know. It's a hard thing to do.
Hard road to travel and a mighty long way to go.
True. True.
I'm confident in the victory of God over evil, my Lord. You see, the one who did expose or open to the world of science and things, and as the brother said, we know that, we know what they call the whole the evolution from man being the driver of machinery to the industrial revolution, my Lord. And we know that we are in this latter state of the industrial revolution, and people are just awakened to the full consciousness of life, you know. But the thing is, I will tell you, why the changes, when people are adapted to certain things, you know, my Lord, it changes. If you put a policy in place, people not change overnight, you know, Bobo.
Yes.
So what I want to say, this thing is not really putting systems and policies in place and a certain enforcement to change situation, you know. That's why God I use salvation, my Lord. And that's why you see it. Yeah.
Rastafari.
That's why that medium, yeah, make people live good and the old. You don't see it.
True.
Yeah. positive inspiration, lead them in a positive direction.
True.
Because man said the voice of the people in righteousness are the voice of God, you know. So the same multitude where they say crucify him. As I know this time, I have to say, we call upon the Almighty Yahusha. Yahusha, we call you. We need you.
Rastafari. One kind of diversify the reasoning a little bit, my lord, because I listen to the eye and, you know, the eye is very eloquent, my lord, Zane. So I want to diversify the reasoning a little bit. I heard the eye, you know, say at one point, you know, the reasoning that the eye don't take everything in the King James version of the Bible, right? All right.
Right.
Ethiopia have a different canonized version then, or the oldest version, one of the oldest version, and within that, you know, it contain probably most of the books them, beyond 66 books which the King James contain. Zine. Now in the Ethiopian version it go into a whole heap of different things where the King James not really refer to, Zine, or even allude to or mention at all. Zine. I want to ask the eye now, Zane, what the eye thoughts on the Anunnakis, because the Ethiopian Bible speak about you know that side of things.
What would we begin to interpret my answer even from the King James version? Listen, then that other one who did go to the Catholic Church, maybe heard the Catholic Bible. The Creator had what we call cherubims and seraphims.
Mm-hmm.
The archangels had a army. So this reference to Anakin, these virgins, you know, to me, we interpret them as archangels, these mystical forces, then, elemental forces that the Bible or Scripture speak of. Why? All right, scientifically, everything begins from sound. When sound develops speed, velocity, sound transmits light. The transmission of light, well, I say, start the generation of life forms. That's the natural procedure of life. Whether you talk about God or anything in reality, these are the natural reality of life, or the manifestation of life. So, whether one chooses to say believe it and accept it or feel for, there is life existed before flesh, but in what form? Element, which must be the elements. So that may use science to interpret theology, my lord. Cut it short for you.
And the Bible speak about fallen angels.
Yeah, because it said 10,000. The first heavenly host was numbered at 10,000. No, one third of the no. So this is what me learn from early, what they put in my head. He made up another name, one beautiful name, the morning sun, the star of the morning. He was the senior, to me, when we got Jerusalem school over and I learned to analyze things, that's how my BK teacher teach me from Glenmuir. Me start say, oh, he was the leading priest, but in a Zion, responsible for the praises. We are going up in the temple. But remember, say you'd have still have other angels were responsible for the north, for the four, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, the four wings that you heard. Angels were minister to the fire. So Zion itself did have different chambers, different offices. That are my interpretation. So Lucifer then, whoever name, was the head senior leading priest who lead the praises sector. Now, that requires a certain amount of commitment. Now, him want free time to himself. You see. And him don't know if he come to the God and him don't want to lose him office. So he come to himself now and say, well, me have to go become a God like this, like the God, but myself a God. So me can sit up and somebody praise me. And then there was a conflict that although he was the senior, it came to my attention that also, although he was the lead in the heavenly choir, there was this little simple angel in heaven where always seemed to be more important than him. Always seemed closer to the God more than him. And he never liked that. Because he must say, sure, he might lead the praises order, which is the throne of initiation, which make all things to be. No one not forget no more prominence over him. That little one is the Christ, the Word. So, coming forward to it, 1/3 of the 7,000 out of the 10,000 joined hand with Lucifer. So, as them say 1/3 of the angel them break off out of Zion, 7,000 remain faithful. And those that get cast out become the fallen angel, them up on earth, where attack mankind till now.
Rastafari. So, yeah. In a Jamaica and the region there, Zin, you hear a lot of talk about UFOs and alien and all of them something there. Would they say the same type of thing people are refer to?
Well, yeah, astral forces are in this time. We have scientific experiments that take place too, no matter that.
True.
So, things of the spiritual world, I will attune to them within the astral realm. But then, some of these things I look after, question and search of good because I know the deeds of men are not to be underestimated.
Majesty, may I tell you?
Yeah.
May I tell you?
These industrialists will control the major industries of the world, especially the mining industry and the minerals of the earth. They will go to any. There's no boundary where they won't cross for maintain and keep for them dominion. So I always have to be aware of that.
My Lord. Yes, I. Yeah, we see a lot of things online more while, with prominent people in Jamaica, even Rasta, say, UFOs and spaceships and these things, they bought the place, you know what I mean? And
Then again, my love, what the mind accepts is what the mind conceives. So, you see, yeah, you see, the thing is, my love, you choose to adapt certain lifestyle and choose to go in, because put this way, my love, spirituality. As me I tell you, so when we are just even as certain of them books up, most of the spiritual books then when we book up on them have that warning against using spirituality negative, in a negative way. Right? And you see a lot of people, the kickback, but people here from that into spirituality negatively. I have seen the consequences. I see as that an individual, even in my own community here. You see? Because we come see two brothers where they run some Thomas De La Rue thing and to test themselves once ever. One are mad the other one, and one are give the other one sore foot. You see? And them do them thing and them thing did work out, but something went wrong. So the man will lose their mind, can't come back sober to heal the sore foot. And them live for years still as witnesses. Like in the community said, don't ramp with spirituality. You see, them never just dead, sir. Years them live. One a madman and the two of them half crack, but one totally gone. So when a man I say Rastafari, I say that this today, my life. You see when a man is saying about trod Rastafari and no really and it if you and want and play with it, it's mutually, You see, if you find say this thing bigger than you, you can't go in a certain level of it, stick with where you can manage. You take up more than where you can carry.
True.
Because enough people mash up themselves. You see?
My lord.
Yeah. Try to impose to prove themselves to be special. Them take upon themselves more than bite off more than them can chew. You see? And these things can lead into diverse delusions by land.
For real. Rastafari.
Because personally, my lord, as a man who would I say grew up in doing the sciences then, through in the colonial or in the educational world, this thing of as we tell you, say, my born with a natural astral connection there, right? So this imagination that some people live on a different planet, you see, are certain things. I don't sit on an imagination for my life. Just knowing that the Almighty, the Creator exists, and He has His angelic hosts that govern the spirit, the elements, earth, air, and water.
Majesty.
Because man not given the power to govern. We can utilize heat, air, and water scientifically for benefit for personal needs. And although we create something where them tell me about how to make lightning, one machine for just and lightning, no man can control that because a couple times them try that, you're supposed to hear what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You see, some man have no power to control the elements. Jah give man power to govern earth and even for not to do, to take care of earth, nurture the things upon earth. You see. So who govern what forces, what energy goes with the sun, the moon, govern the movement, the movement of the waters in the sea, the evaporation, the flowing of the river and the streams. How you identify the energy that govern these things? We are call them angel or spirit. My Lord. Yeah.
For real. For real. Yes, Yes, Bobo. I don't know reasoning have no end. But before we seal up, Honorable Priest, how would I, describe the Prince Emmanuel and, the Bobo Shanti order in closing, my lord?
In closing, man say, okay. We find the great, the tree of life. I'm trying to remember that reference to the tree of life, my lord. The King Emmanuel, as even from Micah chapter 4, they were here me refer to.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches the hints, the laws and the commandments, the ways of life to bring us in harmony with the Creator and the creation. That is how I summarize the work of King Emmanuel, my lord. So no matter what diverse aspects are, different regions it has been going through, because all these things for me are stages of development, the aim is the same, to make the crooked straight and to make the dirty clean, to bring humanity to a full consciousness and awareness of themselves, that we say, in the fulfillment of the kingdom of God, righteousness covering the earth as waters covering the sea. That means man and woman become fully conscious and aware of themselves to live in love and harmony,
my lord,
with each other.
Yes,
my lord.
Yes, Honorable Priest. Yes, Bobo. Yeah, man. I want to thank the my lord, for, the time spent, a lot of history, a lot of information, and a lot of, culture and, knowledge, my lord. And, I want to give thanks. And, I hope, ones, who are listen and, can take a lot of, food from, what they share with us today, my lord. So, give thanks, more love, more strength, and, more powers to the eye and dominion, Honorable Priest.
Oh, give thanks for such blessings, my Lord God. The work continues, my Lord. And so, as we say, Ethiopia never cease fire till Babylon will come down. I, in that interpretation, we have lives to restore, families to build, community is to lives to restore, community to develop. We have a build. We have a nation to restore. We own lives. So that is where we have to focus and charter ourselves, my Lord, and look forward to bring for myself. As I said to me, if I can manifest the standard that King Emmanuel set on Mount Teman in my community, or even within my household, I know I will have achieved much, because eyes of the people are upon us, and whatever we achieve that is good, people are gonna gravitate towards it and find upliftment within such, my Lord.
Yes, Honorable Priest. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Give
my
thanks.
Lord.
Yes, Bobo. Yes, my Lord. So give thanks, all the words said and done said we, Yeah, we give thanks, for the, continuous blessing, my Lord, So, and more strength to the high honorable priest, and, till we meet at Nego's feet, my Lord.
Oh, certainly, my Lord. And I do give thanks for this moment to freely express myself, and I do welcome the dignified way that I approach and manifest it. So, as a mighty angel now carrying out the work of King Emmanuel in publishing and concealing that and bringing revelation out, because as I said that I was very much um, full joy one of your script which I watched so far with Priest Enoch.
Yes, I.
As a original guidance man in a camp where that these are one of the individuals when I say pillars that lay in the early days as founders, as industrial leaders, to encourage industrial development even within our Congress. It's very nice to see my brother, holding strong there in the motherland, my Lord. And his experience, which he refer, I tell you, it made me stronger. That it give me more energy, budget.
My Lord.
So continue doing the good work, my Lord. God bless them with health, strength, and all of the necessary elements that is needed, that we may bring truth and light to the world of people, my Lord.
Yes, Honorable Priest. Yeah, man, give thanks. Yeah, that a little bit emotional, Yeah, because...
Well, me try to, that's why you see me stay so, because me tell you, say, me just see myself as an instrument for the King. What to as we say, me just want to see people live good and if the work done. The throne and the as me just say, give me the blessing, the glory, maybe take me satisfied with the blessing, give the glory to Jah.
My Lord.
Yeah, yes, I remember kind of blessing, my food and my clothes and my empress and my children.
Yes, sir.
Be satisfied with the early blessing. Just give what say, yeah, Priest blood is a work of the King Emmanuel,
Yes,
yeah. So it tells the Priest blood, like you remember King Emmanuel, I know say other man they make Priest blood to be who he is,
Yes, Honorable Priest. Yeah, man, give thanks to their life.
Honorable
Elder. Yeah, man. Manners and respect, and peace and love, Bobo.
Oh, give thanks, man.
Yes, I. Yeah, man, and... Rastafari. Yes, Bobo. And I look forward for having the hype on the program, Yeah, again. Yes, Honorable Priest. Hopefully in the flesh still. Yes, I.
Yeah, man. As I tell you, say, I just one little impediment there, as they would say, my one little blasphemy I can certain standard the King Man kingship maintain, where through we get knocked off. In time we straighten out the part that my Lord, where we let loose again.
Cause you know we don't go to battle without the sheep the harbour properly.
Graded.
My Lord.
Yes, I. True
So
God.
that's why I just go out and build the love, you know?
True, Bobo.
Yeah.
Yes, my Lord. Yeah, man,
So we
give
look
thanks.
forward to greater days, my Lord. You see, when me say, as I tell you, if you want to know, we can tell you from because the first pioneer with me that speak of
Yeah.
on the level, there's a brother where the man them they call Brandel. Priest Knuckles and them man they can tell you even more of them and them more than me. But me watch the pioneers around King Emmanuel, John Napier, man never move out, and the whole, both the spiritual and the industrial development and the advancement of the Congress. And when we see the things that play out, and we see the fulfillment come forward, that it is so real. In ancient African, any indigenous tradition, the elders are the custodians of the faith.
My
When
Lord.
everything come down, yeah. So if you see my brethren them where they start out as youngsters and now as elders within the faith. Can remember, when that formed the first 13-man committee, it was pure man from Bakawal, Me are the youngest man from the 31st committee. You see,
Seeing?
who just come from Bobo Hill as a little young green youth. You know, so if you see the elders council rise up and what is taking place and what is already done, oh my Lord, I look forward to a bright and glorious redemption, my Lord.
My Lord. My Lord. Yeah, beautiful, Bobo, beautiful. Selassie I know, yeah, me have it in my mind to really ask the eye about, the council still, but, say, the eye does, bring it up still and, seal it up and, that is a great thing to see, happening, and I think that should have been something integral from day one. But we evolve, because we are learn, we're growing
Yeah,
at the same time, So we give thanks to which power with this still.
that's it, my Lord. As it is written in Desiderata, truly the universe is unfolding as it should. So that's why we got to be in harmony with the universe. So if you don't find the harmony, you might become agitated and unstable. But when you're in harmony, you know what you take it one step at a time and know, yes, the crave, everything is just coming to perfection.
True.
My Lord.
True, God. Yes, I. Selassie I know.
Yeah, Rastafari.
Rastafari. Yes, Honorable Priest. So give thanks, my Lord, for the time again. Yes, I.
Good reason I'm knowing my Lord, so as Priest Babel said, me bless him soul. But we break for start again.
We start again. True. True, God. Yes, I. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. Give
My
thanks, my Lord.
Lord.
All powers and blessing and, all love. All love, my Lord.
Oh, give thanks, my Lord. I know it's the same sun I come up a morning, but I know it's a new life and new energy.
Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes,
My
I.
Lord.
New energy. Yeah, man. Give thanks, my Lord. Yeah, man, for the frequency
Oh,
and the
my Lord. Until
vibration.
further word, my Lord.
Yes, King. More love, more strength.
Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie
Selassie
I,
I.
Jah.
Rastafari. My Lord and Prince and Princess.
Blessed love, my Lord. Yes,
One love, heart of love.
Majesty.
I want to the honor.
Yes, Bobo. Yeah, man. Give
No,
thanks.
no, press the button. No.
Yeah, I got seal up. I got seal up on the side there. Yes, I. More love and strength, Honorable Priest.
No.
Rastafari. Yes, Honorable family. Yeah, man. Honorable Priest Brown. Yeah, from the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. Yeah, one of the foundation priests. Yeah, as you hear, in closing, he was saying that he was one of the first, youngest, priests to be on the 13-man committee, Yes, I. So, bless up the honorable priest and give thanks, for the time spent, my Lord. More love and strength and powers and blessing. Yes, I. Continually, itinerally. Yes. So, honorable family, I eat that, Right, that's so, we are going to keep it. Reason with we in the comment section. Let me know your views and thoughts and, what's been reason about here today. Alright? Yeah, man. So, peace and love. And take care until we meet at Nico's feet. Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, bless and sanctify.
Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. Just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe